Hi there. If you're a baby boomer or looking forward to retirement, then you're most likely wondering if you're ever going to be able to draw out any of your Social Security or even be able to access the money that you've been investing and setting aside in an IRA all these years. Well, there is some good news. You can use a Panama Private Interest Foundation, which I'll call a PIF in this video, as an integral part of your estate plan and use the PIF to protect all of your investments, including a rolled over self-directed IRA. In this series of videos, you discover how you can protect your personal resources legally and secure your family's financial future so you can enjoy the kind of retirement that you've been working on all your life. Who do you select as the source for your Panama Private Interest Foundation to protect your estate and your assets? Do you go for the fanciest ad on the internet? Do you always go for the lowest price? Do you use a local U.S. or Canadian financial service provider? How can I know who will really help me? We'll examine each one of these issues in turn. On the internet, everyone is 10 feet tall and bulletproof. A slick website can make even a totally incompetent service provider look like a genius. When you lack expertise in legal asset protection strategies, then you need to find someone who will educate you as part of the service fee. And the education must relate directly to the law and the exact, precise wording of your PIF documents. There are fixed costs, variable costs, and other costs. The fixed costs are always there and they're predictable in the amount. These are the costs of registering, the notary, the taxes, and so forth. The variable costs are always there, but they'll vary from provider to provider. Those would be nominee fees, resident agent fees, cost of opening a bank account. This would include the agent's time at the bank, depending on how busy the bank is, and the minimum initial deposit that's required by that bank, which would be somewhere between $500 and $1,000. Other costs are the costs of doing business, and these might include wire transfer fees, office costs, costs of preparing contracts, and that sort of thing. They just mean that you're getting a benefit out of using your foundation. You didn't just pay some money for a foundation and let it sit there and do nothing. The advertised price must be consistent with the price of producing a viable asset protection system. There can be no hidden costs and no vital parts missing. When you compare prices, you must also compare the service that you receive. If the price does not include the minimum balance for the bank account, or does not include the regulations for the PIF, then these costs must be added to the bottom line. Going with the lowest price quote is like putting used parts on a luxury automobile. When you have a Lexus or a BMW, you compromise your safety and value of your investment by using substandard parts. When you're using a private interest foundation to protect your estate, you compromise your financial security when you go to a service provider who does not charge enough to provide the highest quality protection. There are examples in the public record of regulations being filed as an attachment to the actual memorandum of foundation. Shopping for asset protection by price is as foolish as shopping for a brain surgeon by price, not competency. When the service fails to perform up to your expectations, even free is too expensive. When you get a private interest foundation, you expect it to protect your privacy and your interests. When the regulations, which show the beneficiaries' names, the money, where it's handled, how it's handled, where it comes from, where it goes to, are made a part of the public record, then this company has violated your privacy and is not working in your interest. The particular company that did this, that I have an example of, charged between $1,100 and $1,500 for their service. Do I use a U.S. or Canadian asset protection provider? Well, if you do, he may not have solid, reliable day-to-day contact with his Panamanian counterparts. He may have selected his provider of your PIF document by one of the criteria above. He may, and this is not guaranteed, know something about your tax laws, but he will most likely not be familiar with Panamanian law and Panamanian legal procedures. At some point, you're going to have to pay for the overhead for his U.S. operations, which will have to add to your costs. How can I know who will really help me? The only way to be certain who can help you is to have copies of the laws in your own hands and have someone who is competent and honest explain the parts that are not easily understood. Be aware that most Panamanian attorneys know even less about your obligations under the IRS code than most U.S. lawyers. Panamanian lawyers are not aware of what the IRS can do to you if you don't follow their regulations. When you know enough about asset protection and about foundations that you can spot failures in some of the internet advertisements, then you're ready to make a decision on whose services to select. When a product or service does not do everything that you expect to accomplish, then even free is too expensive. There is always a plan in place for your estate. It's either your plan or the probate court's plan. Will you select your own plan, or will you let the probate court select it for you? You're getting older, not younger, and will have less and less time to spend in managing and protecting an estate. So you need to do something now to protect what you're working for and keep it out of the hands of a probate court. You have a chance today to do it right the first time. A summary of the benefits of using a PIF: it frees your time for making money or enjoying life. When written correctly, you're kept aware of all details of the management of the PIF, including the monthly bank balance. When written correctly, you retain 100% control over the PIF and nothing happens without your approval. When written correctly, you have zero requirements to make reports to the IRS about the money or property being held in the PIF. By when written correctly, I mean that if the words in the document do not secure your control over the assets and protect your privacy, then you've wasted your money. The PIF completely eliminates delay and cost of probate on everything it owns, either in Panama or in your own country. The assets are instantly available to your heirs. You can make more money, save more money, and have more money to give to your grandchildren. We invite you to visit the products page on our website and see some of the problems that you can run into when you get bargain basement asset protection. You can download the e-booklet for free. The good news is that when competently prepared and implemented, the PIF provides the most modern and most solid asset protection on the planet. Please visit our website for more complete information on the Panamanian Private Interest Foundation and for a very complete frequently asked questions page on what a PIF is and how to use it. You can have your own copy of Panamanian Law Number 25 that sets up Panamanian Private Interest Foundations, so you can read for yourself why this asset protection and estate planning tool is among the very best in the world at any price. This is part 2 in a series of 12 presentations on how to use the Private Interest Foundation to your maximum advantage. Please save these presentations and review them often. Contact us for services when you're ready to take some serious steps to protect your future. If you found this presentation interesting, you will want to download all of them and share them with your friends and family. We're looking forward to hearing from you today.